Now that I'm working at a desk job for 8 hours a day, all of a sudden I got really scared that this is what my life was going to be like. I was able to get a raise.
But you keep on telling lies.
Welcome friends, today I'm going to be talking about my experience working a 9-to-5 job and the things that I wish I had known beforehand and some of the things that have helped me make it a great experience. I graduated from college in December 2019 and started my first full-time job in January 2020. I actually have worked a full-time job before, but it was always over the summer. It was a very physical job that I was working with a lot of friends, and for that reason it was just a little bit different than stepping from the student part-time work life into a full-time work life. So the job that I got in January 2020 was a job as a legal secretary. I was actually very excited about the job. I'm going to law school this fall, and so I wanted to take about 1.5 years to experience a law office and see, just to make sure that law really was right for me. And I don't regret that decision. I just wish that I had known a couple things before going in. A really important thing that I wish that I had known before I started was how much it would impact my physical health. I didn't realize how much walking around as a student, walking to campus, walking to class, all of that physical activity, I didn't realize how much it was helping me stay physically fit. I didn't go to the gym a lot, but now that I'm working at a desk job for 8 hours a day, I have to go to the gym. And I would say if you are about to make the transition to a 9-to-5 job where you are sitting most of the day, plan on at least doubling the workouts that you're already doing. Kind of sucks, but it's just really hard on your body. I experienced a lot of fatigue, and I'm sure that was due to a lot of reasons, but I think that one of the reasons was just not exercising enough. I also wish I had known that there would be a big emotional adjustment phase where I felt really trapped, and I all of a sudden got really scared that this is what my life was going to be like, and I experienced a lot of boredom and a loss of identity. And I'm sure everyone's experience is different, but this is something that I went through. I would just wish that I had known that it would go away over time as I got more comfortable and into a routine. I also didn't know how much it would affect my social life. A lot of my friends were still students or they were still working part-time. It was just really difficult because I was used to having the flexibility of a random student work schedule where I just had pockets of my day every day of the week that I could do social things. So combined with the fatigue that I was experiencing and, like I mentioned, that loss of identity, I just didn't really want to hang out with anyone. I do have really wonderful friends who are so generous to accommodate me and come visit me at lunch, and we could go out to lunch, and I started getting used to the schedule and getting into routine, and now it's not a problem at all. But at the beginning that was a little bit more difficult than I anticipated. At the beginning I felt like I didn't have time for anything. I think something that is difficult for a lot of people is switching from having lots of classes during the day to just these long stretches of work. You presumably will have a lunch break in the middle of the day, and other than that you're just going 4 hours or 5 hours in a row doing the same thing over and over. Like I said, I've adapted to that now, but at the time it was just really difficult, and I had to learn how to use my time differently. And now I actually really enjoy the 9-to-5 schedule. It's awesome to know that I have Saturday always off and Sunday always off. That's so great. And I have the hours after 5:30 to do whatever I need to do. And I finally realized that the hours before I went to work were really, really crucial. I found that waking up a little bit earlier, I didn't miss that time of sleep, because waking up and going to the gym early has given me more energy than if I were to get that extra hour of probably crappy sleep. I also have instituted a habit where when I come home, I do an hour of no screens. I'm looking at a computer all day long, and then I love to relax by watching TV or YouTube videos or just being online or responding to text messages from friends. And so I found that just giving 1 hour for my eyes to have a break and my brain to have a break from it. I usually will end up reading if I want to be entertained, which helps me. Reading is something that I really, really love, and so that's brought that back into my life and helped me with my time management. And even if you're not an early morning person, I think the hours between 9 and midnight can be really beneficial. Those can be hours where you are working on projects that are important to you. I really like playwriting, I like cleaning and organizing, and I have found that now that I'm more adapted to the 9-to-5 schedule, those hours are really, really crucial for me to feel like I am moving forward in my personal hobbies and passions. Something that also really helped me, a few months into working, I was still feeling really fatigued, a little bit depressed, and had that that sense of dread going to work. I watched this video by Carol Tuttle called How to Manifest Your Dream Job, and even if you're not into the law of attraction, I think it's worth watching just because she kind of breaks it down, like what is it about your job that is bothering you, and helps you open up your mind to the possibilities of, okay, what could change, what could be adjusted. I did do what she recommended in the video, and within a couple of weeks I was able to get a raise. My job position changed a little bit to something that I was happier doing, and it really helped me adjust to my new work life. So if it's been several months and you're still feeling pretty down about your new job, I also recommend reading this book by Marie Kondo. It's called Joy at Work. She and a different author, organizational psychologist, they go through different things you can do to improve your work life and help you feel more peace and happiness at work. If you're not such a big reader, I recommend at least listening to or reading chapter 11 of this book. It was very inspiring for me personally. It talks about a woman who feels like she hates her job and she's considering starting her own business, which is kind of risky and she's unsure about it. But upon further evaluation, she realized there's actually just two main things that she hates about her job. One, her early morning commute was just painful for her. She started coming in an hour earlier and was able to avoid the high traffic and started work each day in a better mood. And the other thing was that she had one client that she really hated working with. She was able to talk to her boss and work it out and eliminate those two problems in her job, and was actually very happy and able to do what she would have done for her business on the side as a hobby. I just love that lesson because sometimes it's not the job that needs to change. Sometimes we feel like we want to quit our job and travel the world, but it's not the most realistic thing. Instead, maybe we can adapt one or two things to help us adjust. If this is your first full-time job, that's a huge adjustment, and you should give yourself time to get into a flow and to understand what you like and don't like. And yeah, maybe you do need to change your job, but give it a chance first. Like I said, a lot of the rough things went away over time. Once you get into a routine, you might actually find that working full-time is great. I have one last tip, which was generously donated by my friend Corinne. She said when you're starting a new job, in her experience, it really helps to plan a trip or something to look forward to. I actually have also found that this is true. When I first started my job, I was a couple weeks in and I went out of state to run a Ragnar relay with some friends. I came back from that weekend a totally new employee. I just felt like myself again and I had had a lot of fun. It really refreshed my spirit and made me feel a lot happier at work just having that break. So thank you, Corinne, for your tip. I know that everyone's experience is different. Let me know how your experience moving to full-time work was, or maybe some of your concerns in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. I'm super grateful for my job. It's helped me support my lifestyle and learn a ton about my future profession. I've also made some amazing friends that I met through the workplace. I hope this video helps you prepare for or adjust to your full-time job, and I will see you next week.